John Butler here on Media Row at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, and with me is Texas Congressman Marc Veasey.
Very beautiful.
Okay,
country, yeah.
so you've been in Congress for, is it 11 years?
Been in Congress for 11 years, yeah.
So tell me about your experience in Congress for the last 11 years.
It's been a great experience. I'm on the Energy and Commerce Committee, which is one of the three, select committees, and I am also on Armed Services Committee. In addition to me being on those particular committees, I'm also a member of the Helsinki Commission. I'm one of the Helsinki commissioners, so I go to Europe twice a year and participate in OSCE activities, and it's just been an incredible experience to be able to serve the 33rd District in these particular roles. And of course, I like to do that in the majority. And so my hope is that Hakeem Jeffries will be the Speaker of the House come January 3rd, and that there will be a Democratic majority.
Okay. Crime is top of mind for a lot of folks.
Yes, it is.
Not just in Dallas-Fort Worth, but here in Chicago and every major city. How are you addressing that issue?
Obviously, crime is a problem, and we need to have deterrence to crime, right? Like there needs to be consequences to actions, and they need to be serious consequences depending on the crime that was committed.
So you don't believe in catch and release?
I'm not a big catch and release guy. I think that people need to be held accountable for what they do. I don't believe in over punishing too, just so people can feel like they have some, they're getting some red meat or some blood. I think that's ridiculous also, and I think that's led to bad outcomes. But people obviously need to be held accountable. That's what we teach our kids. That is what we expect from a society that we want to be orderly, and we expect to be run as a nation by the rule of law. And so absolutely there needs to be consequences, and we need to put more tools in place, I think, to fight poverty. I don't think that we've done a good job in that area, and I think that is hurting all communities. I think that's why you're seeing the prevalence of drugs in so many communities, even rural communities now, with the methamphetamine issue that you're seeing, and the fentanyl and what have you, that even rural communities are starting to suffer through. It's because of poverty. People feel there's no hope. People feel like there's no place to go. And we need to address that, and we don't need to just lock all of those people up. If they do something violent, we do, but we need to try to figure out how we can help people. I think one of the reasons why people aren't having as many children anymore in families is because people are worried about the economic prospects of kids. Housing is inexpensive, daycare is expensive. It's harder to make ends meet. So let's fix that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Well, you've hit a lot of issues there. What are the other maybe key issues that you're addressing for your constituents?
The key issues that I'm trying to address, and I talked about how important that we do to help people out economically. And so one area that's helped all Americans of all backgrounds has been the Affordable Connectivity Program. It's a program that allows people that are low income, that qualify, to get help on their broadband bill. We can't expect for a society that is connected digitally to leave people out and think they're going to grow and prosper. They're not. And the program has run out of money. It halved broadband service prices, monthly broadband service prices for low-income families. We need to restore that program so low-income families will feel connected, so kids can do their homework, so low-income families can apply for better jobs for themselves online. It's not like the old days when I would go walk through the mall and ask if they had an application I can fill out. You fill out applications online, and you need to have a desktop like you have right now to be able to do that. So let's get the Affordable Connectivity Program passed. Let's continue to build infrastructure, and particularly for fast-growing areas like the Dallas-Fort Worth community, they need monies to be able to continue to keep up with the growth that we're experiencing. And let's lower our healthcare costs, whether it's pharmaceutical drug costs or whether it's just the cost of your premiums. Let's work on those things together. That's why I like being on the Energy and Commerce committees, because we handle most of those issues, and they're important to each and every American.
Where do you stand on the border?
I believe that we need strong border security. I was disappointed, honestly, that when President Biden worked with Senator Jim Langford out of Oklahoma, red Oklahoma, that's redder than Texas, a guy, Senator Langford, that previous Congress, I believe he had a 100 or A plus on his Club for Growth report card, and people demonized the bill and said it was a really liberal bill. Even Fox News said it was the toughest bill that ever came out of Washington, D.C., and Trump killed it because he thought it was going to help Biden. We should have passed that bill. It would have helped tremendously at the border. And when you start talking about these issues around energy, when you start talking about these issues like inflation, if you can't address those without adequately fixing our broken immigration system. So let's strengthen our border. Let's also, in addition to strengthening the border, deal with the real problem, and that is the economies around immigration. And let's go back to the 90s when Bill Clinton was president. Look at how he stabilized Colombia under Plan Colombia, and let's stabilize those communities. Look at migration around the world. When you have communities that are violent, that are unsafe, where there's poverty, where there's famine, people are going to get on the move. And it's not going to be any different in our hemisphere. I don't know why people think that people are just going to sit still. They're not.
One last question. Where do you stand on the AM radio bill?
AM radio bill, I've been very supportive of the AM radio bill to this day. I turn to AM radio usually at the top of the hour and at the bottom of the hour to listen to local news when I'm driving around in the district and when we're not in session and I'm back in Fort Worth, and whenever there's a weather occurrence. And sometimes I just want to listen to some good sports radio. I listen to a lot of AM radio.
Hey, thanks for stopping by and talking with me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Great talking with you.
Yes, same here. And good luck to you.
Thank you.